Hello, ladies and gentle ladies. Welcome back to another railroad development stream. Today we're going to be continuing with the VCS integration, aka the Get integration, because we're not actually doing any other VCS system as of current. But yes, we're going to be continuing with this, which we started last week, I believe. And yeah, hopefully we're going to make some good progress today, maybe. We just have a couple things we need to bug fix first, really. So I will show you what I've done since last time. So last time, don't think we had any UI. I think all we had last time was some of this Get stuff. I'm not sure we actually even had like a client or anything, actually. Basically, what we've got so far is I have basically the entire Git system. So I have a Git client, and the Git client has a process runner, and this will then run the process. So I think we had some of this last time, but I've just abstracted it out, and I've obviously made it better as well, so it now runs on its own thread. At some point, probably want to actually use IO threads, but yeah, for now that's fine. Basically, it does all of that. So it does all of that, and then it will read that output into the format you want. So either bytes, or as a string, or as null records. So you got all of that, and then the Git client goes inside the Git manager. So the Git manager will have a Git client, and it also has some other things. So for example, you have the repo status, which is like the current branch you're on, with the amount that you're ahead of the master branch, amount you're behind the master branch, and then basically just the list of changes. So that's always stored, and then whether it's active or not, so whether there even is a Git repository, and then the actual Git repository itself, which for now is just a path. It will probably just stay as a path, but for now that's fine. And then this has like auto refreshing, all of that. I don't think I did any of this last time, so there's a lot here. Last time I think we mostly did the Git locating, which I haven't changed whatsoever since last time, because that just seems to work. That seems to have worked first try, so I'm not going to change it until obviously it stops working, but for now it's fine. I've also done a couple commands in here. So I've just got the status one, which gets the status. I've got this one, which tells me if I'm basically inside a Git repository or not. This one will find the Git repository that I'm inside of. Then we've got staging files, we've got unstaging files, we've got commits, and then finally we have push. So now that I've got all that, I've been working on the UI, which I can show you. So if we come into, I've got TurtleBot open right now. So I have two changes, as you can see. I have this one in command hook, and I have this one in crossword. So it shows me both of those changes and the structure with which they exist in. And then I've got this little UI down here as well, which needs some like padding and spacing changes and stuff. It also needs to be in a split pane, so I can like resize this, but once again, not too big of a deal. And then I also have this up here, so I can just manually refresh, but it does refresh every 5 seconds anyways. And then I can also roll back, I can shelve changes, and then I can expand all and also collapse all. Collapse all doesn't quite work, but we can come back to that one. So yeah, that's basically everything. Now, the major problem, and it's not really that big of a deal, but it also kind of is that like selecting this changes the entire thing to like indeterminate. So that's not ideal. If I select it again, then you see it selects these two, but it doesn't select these two. That's actually correct. So that is actually correct behavior that it does that, because these two are indeed indeterminate because these two aren't selected. And then if I go ahead and deselect this one, it does unselect them all. So for the most part, that works. It's just the fact that selecting it doesn't change this to indeterminate or to true. I think that's a pretty simple change. I think it's just because changing this one and then changing this one then tells this one that it needs to propagate back down. So I think it's then propagating the indeterminate status back down, which it shouldn't do, of course. So that's what we need to fix first of all today. I'm hoping it's not too tricky. So originally I had Codex come through and write this all for me, or write all of the UI for me. I have since then just completely yeeted what Codex wrote, because it turns out it had no idea what it was doing. It was writing the most horrendous code I've ever seen in my entire life. So what I have now is a little bit better, but there's still obviously some problems, which is what we need to figure out. So as far as I'm aware, most of the issues are actually in here. So this is the actual like cell that lives within the tree. So like this is a cell, this is a cell, even this is a cell, right? So these are different cells. There's also some weird like visual problems. But I mean, those can be ironed out once we actually have functionality, of course. So yeah, I mean, we just have to check where it's propagating the state. No, I'm actually not sure where that happens. It's actually not in here, is it? It's in here. Is that correct? No. Is it in here? I didn't think it was in here, but maybe it is in here. Unless I'm forgetting something. So that's all the changes. I think I must be forgetting something. So this is, I thought, no, it's not in there. It's in, one second, where are you? It's in here, right? Because this is the actual tree. Oh, no, of course. It's in here. It's in the checkbox tree item. Okay. So propagate selection to parent, propagate selection to child. So I'm pretty sure propagating selection to parent is working. Like if I click there, I wonder. You can't really see, but I wonder if that is changing it to selected and then instantly being set back to indeterminate. Maybe. I can't. It's very hard to tell. I mean, it would only be for. Probably actually less than a frame, so actually it probably wouldn't even show up. So I mean, let's try and figure that out first. So, got clear selection, no. Set indeterminate, no. Initialize selection handling, here we go. So propagate selection to children. So, I mean, what we don't want to do is we don't want to propagate indeterminate. So, updating state. So, these will just set indeterminate to false. So, that's fine, I think. Indeterminate.add listener. If updating value and not indeterminate, then... If we're not updating the state, then we update the parent state. And then that sets it otherwise to be indeterminate. Interesting. So maybe that's not the issue then, because that, I think that's fine, right? Because that's only if it's not already updating the state. I guess it's an or statement, but I don't think that matters, because the fact is, if if either of these are true, which they should be in the case that I'm pressing that checkbox, then that's only going to update the parent state. That's not going to set the current state to be indeterminate. So that's fine. Update state from children, maybe? Child is indeterminate. I mean, what if I go to just clean that up a little bit. Yeah, that, clean that up. Do a format as well. There you go, just clean that up. And this, just clean that up. Make this a little bit easier to read for me, I suppose. I mean, I don't necessarily see a problem here. What about if we look at the cell, maybe? Like, I wonder if, not this one, the tree cell. Because this is the tree item, but there's a tree cell, right? Checkbox, tree cell, this. So, I mean, that disallows indeterminate, which isn't really correct, but is that more of like... Actually, how does that work then? Oh. No, that's correct. Am I on an old... Am I running something old? Have I changed this and not rerun it? It's very possible. I've had this running. Yeah, I had that running for like an hour, I think. So it's possible I just never restarted. Let's have a look, I suppose. Because that might, if that's already fixed, I mean, that saves us a bunch of time, right? So we'll open TurtleBot just because I know I have those two changes in there. Now, we do need to fix this at some point. So the UI freezes when you open a project. I think it's a mix of multiple things. I think it's something to do with the facets. And then I also think it's something to do with the Gradle window. And possibly something to do with the commit stuff, but I'm not sure about that. The other thing, you can see it freezes again here. And that's when the Gradle finishes loading. So I think what happens is here, like right now, it's expanding this item, I think. And I think that causes a tremendous amount of lag. I could be wrong. It actually is not expanding that item, but I think that is what's causing it. Okay, that's correct, right? Has that actually fixed it? I think that's fixed it, right? Yeah, that has fixed it. So I obviously just never reran it. Oh man. It's the kind of thing where hot swapping would be great, but you can't really hot swap JavaFX stuff. Like, it's just not really. I mean, you can, but like you can't hot swap the actual UI, so it doesn't really do anything. Hello, bro. I really like your work. Keep up with it. Thank you. I greatly appreciate that. Yeah, I'm just trying to, make something that hopefully a lot of people will like and find useful, right? I mean, that's the goal. That is the goal at the end of the day. So if that's what it's achieving, then, or yeah, if that's what it's, you know, going to achieve, then that's good. That's what I'm looking for. But anyways, that works. So okay, the other thing then is just to kind of clean the UI up a little bit. So a bit of padding between the icon and these would be good. That'd be a good start. Yeah, I guess let's just go one by one with some of these changes. So if we go into, I think it's in here. So this is the text container. This is the icon container. This is the main container. It should have a spacing of 2. But it doesn't appear to, does it? Interesting. You would think it does. How does IntelliJ display this, by the way? Okay. And what does this display? Okay, so that displays the full path. I don't think we really want it to do that, right? Maybe you need to create a UI using Figma, for sure. Probably, yes, but I'm not a designer, so I would not be capable of doing that. If we have, or eventually, hopefully, when we have a designer, they can do that, but I cannot. That is not anything that I am even remotely close to being good at, so unfortunately not. Okay, I think we need to modify this. We need to do, I think, more like what IntelliJ does here, and we need to just put them on single lines. So so like IntelliJ, you can see it puts 4 files there. If I... Oh, interesting. I assumed the 4 files would, like, overlap this when you did this, but it actually doesn't, which is interesting. I think let's start. I mean, I'm a little bit confused why there's no spacing here, because this should have spacing. I'm actually gonna, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna start up scenic view, because I am actually very curious why there's no spacing there. Maybe there is. Maybe it's just not where I think it is, but I don't think that should be the case. So if we look in here, this is the tree view. So I'm going to look at the cells. So that one we don't really care about right now. So we've got this one. Okay, so by the way, immediately the width of that is insane. Oh, because the width is the longest one. The width goes to the width of the longest one. Yeah, I mean, that's just how JavaFX works, I think. So that is what it is, right? What are you using to make an app? Currently, we are using JavaFX. I don't know why I said currently. We're not planning on switching. But yeah, we're using JavaFX. So let me just have a quick look. This is Scenic View, by the way, guys. It doesn't have a dark mode. I apologize. I'm pretty sure it doesn't. Yeah, it's a shame. So I'm just looking to see where the spacing is. Spacing is set to 2. I mean, I can try and change it. I don't remember if this works or not, to be honest. Okay, that does work. Interesting. Okay. What do we want? We want something more like 8, right? So, I mean, we can set that to 8. Also, don't worry about all these errors, guys. It is just Scenic View causing these. It will spam errors because it does some very hacky stuff. I thought you were using Electron. I really hate JavaFX. I'm definitely not using Electron. No, I would never subject everyone to that kind of torture. Yeah, wow. Definitely not Electron. I would take JavaFX over Electron any day of the week. We want an IDE that can actually run on people's computers, not requiring a supercomputer, you know? So, that is why. I mean, that's not the reason why, but, you know. It is just a beneficial reason. I actually don't know what these errors are. Like, are these actually something I need to fix, or are these just... I think they are just scenic view. Yeah, they do seem to be, so I'm not worried about them then. Okay, so that's kind of cleaned that up a little bit. So we have a space of 2. And then the other thing is... So I don't know what's happening, like, when I click on it. I don't know why it's, like, bouncing around like that. Not sure. Not sure about that one. Tori is better than Electron for sure. I've never used Tori because I don't know Rust. And I don't plan on learning Rust in the near future. But maybe someday I will look into it. We need a transparent background here. So, I mean, that's something we can do with CSS anyways, right? So we can just go to, like, this. I mean, do we have a style sheet ready for this? Styles, components. We do. So, let's check in. Commit change tree cell. I mean, I'm just gonna kind of get rid of these because I'm not sure what all of those are. We do have a way to reload the CSS, but I always forget what the hotkey is, so we kind of can't do that. I wonder actually, can I do that within... Can I do that within Scenic View, I wonder? Auto refresh style sheets. Has that done anything? I'm not sure that did anything. Because that just means it should auto refresh. I don't think that actually refreshes it. Yeah, I mean, there doesn't seem to be a way. I don't think there's a way to just auto refresh them, or to get it to refresh. Maybe doing like that. No, that hasn't changed anything, right? But okay, that's fine. We'll restart, and I mean, let's go style some things quickly. So, commit change tree cell. Why is that not got commit? Or why has that not got get before it? Yeah, these are not very good class names. I think Copilot just did the class names, and I was just like, yeah, it's fine. But it's clearly not great. Get commit change. Sure. I mean, that would do. Okay. At some point, we need to make it so style sheets are a little more dynamic, but not right now. Oh, I forget that. Yeah, we don't have any kind of CSS highlighting because I don't have IntelliJ Ultimate anymore. Which is lovely, isn't it? So we're gonna have to deal with a lack of any CSS autocomplete or anything here. So I think we can just do FX background color. Yeah. We want transparent. And we kind of want to do that for all of them. How do you do that using... Oh, God, CSS I haven't touched in a very long time. I think you can just do this, right? Is that right? Or like something like this, right? To select all children, I think. Maybe? Maybe? I don't know. So that kind of does that. I actually don't even know who want to do that now that I think about it. Actually, the children might... No, they probably don't inherit. But you never know, I suppose. What's VCS? VCS is like get or... I'm not even going to list the other ones because no one will know them. But basically get, if you think of it like that. I should, you know what? I'm going to rename the stream to make it a little more obvious because I have a feeling a lot of people aren't going to know necessarily. So we'll do get integration because that is technically more what we're doing. There we go, that's updated. The confusion should be over. Okay, I'm gonna so that's the like entire container, right? Then we have the icon. That's fine. The next thing will be like text color. Because like IntelliJ, for example, shows these as green because these are like, you know, they're staged basically, right? If they're unstaged, they should be like orange or whatever. So I think that's how it does it. Or maybe it's because they're added. Something like that, right? I mean, we can find out. Yeah, so this one's modified, so it's blue. Okay, so it does it like that then. But I'm pretty sure the unstaged ones are like orange, right? If I can I don't actually know how you do it. I don't know how you unstage something. I mean, I can shelve it. No, I don't want to roll back. I don't know. So we can obviously do that pretty easily. Just change the text color based on the class. But let's try this first and just see if that kind of fixes things, maybe. There's no styles in here, right? No, so we can close that then. No styles in here, so we can close that. Okay, and that's all fine as well. Now, we do want, when we do collapse all, we don't actually want to collapse the root. So, this is one thing we'll need to fix in a second. We only want to collapse the children of the root. So we can fix that in a second. So I will open TurtyBots. Even though it's not a mod, I know it's not a mod, guys, but I don't have any mods that use Java 21. So that's why also I have changes in this project, so it's the easiest for me to work with. Now we just wait a second for... I'm pretty sure it's Gradle, but I could be wrong, to be honest. Okay, I think that's fine. Yeah, that hasn't changed the background of these. I didn't think it would. So what we can do... We can just do... we can do that. We can do... What was the other thing? The V-box, right? So this one. Okay, now I'm pretty sure we can't reload, unfortunately. I feel like there's a way. I mean, it says it should auto-refresh the style sheets. But we have a keybind. 1 second. I need to find the keybind that we created. I don't actually know if it's in keybinds because it's a dev keybind. So it's probably not in here. No. It would be in... I'm trying to think, where would it even be? It's probably in the theme manager, actually. Knowing me, that's the kind of place I would have put it. Aha. Control Shift R should reload them. Control Shift R. Diddly squat happened. That... Oh, wait. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Oh, no. My entire PC's lagging, chat. CSS parse error. Interesting. Oh, but that's just in theme.css. That's fine. Oh, God. We are really lagging right now. What is happening? Okay, I'm gonna... Okay, I've stopped it. I don't know what happened. Okay, note to self, do not press Control Shift R. Components CSS.clear. Components to add all, get all CSS files. So that, I mean, that's fine. I think it's because it's not removing the original CSS files. Right? Yeah. I think that's the case. So... This isn't really relevant to the branch I'm on, though. That's the problem. I mean, I could make the change on main, or on dev, I should say, and then pull the change to this branch, but I just don't know if I can be bothered to do that, because that's a lot of effort, and I'm lazy. So, it's fine. We'll just ignore it for now. I am going to plonk it to... fuck it. No, never mind. We're going to do it. It's not relevant, but it also is annoying. So we're just going to freaking fix it. I think this will fix it. So I think we can get star sheets remove all. And hopefully remove all component CSS. Maybe? We also want to move the base CSS, debug CSS. Though, aren't those going to be done anyways? No? Oh yeah, that added in here. I see. And then that adds all components CSS. That's fine. Okay, the other thing, it needs to remove the theme as well, because otherwise that won't reload the theme. Not that that's like relevant to what we're having right now, but bring theme. Okay, yeah. Copilot will know what we're doing. Yeah, that's fine, I think. Okay. And then that just reloads. Yeah. That should work, I think. So we shouldn't have that problem. I don't think it should lag now. Because it probably lagged because there were so many styles it had to go through. I mean, the theme itself, right? The themes are like 8,000 lines or something ridiculous. So if it's doing that times 2 and then plus all of these components, right? Times 2. Oh dear, we're lagging again. Oh no. Uh-oh. Is it Jova? Why is it even calling Wait, why is it even calling reload all? Excuse me? You know what I think it is? I think it's scenic view. 1 second. Is it scenic view? It's scenic view. Okay. I probably should have checked that first. The problem was scenic view. It wasn't friggin' railroad, it was scenic view. I probably should have expected that, to be fair. Because if that was trying to reload all the style sheets as well, and then this is also reloading the style sheets, maybe that's probably not good. But okay, that's fine. So if we go, oh yeah, okay, we still have to wait for Gradle to do this thing, but that's fine. Okay, so yeah, now the style sheets are a bit wacky because we removed the original ones, but that's fine. So yeah, nice. So there's no background there, and if we just do like red, and then I think we'll probably have to build because we still have to move those CSS files to the right place, right? Otherwise it won't be able to reload them. So okay, I mean, I think that's fine. I think we can just ignore that. I could be wrong, but I think we can ignore that. If I Control-Shift-R, what has that just done? Okay. That has caused some very strange things to happen. Yeah, it probably is actually caused by this build error. Because if it's like half processed the resources... Oh dear. Okay. We'll just ignore that for now then, shall we? Let's undo those changes. And just ignore it for now. Rather than try to figure that out. So discard that. And what I will do is I'm just going to plonk a to-do in here. To-do. This doesn't work. Everything explodes. Okay, and I'll come back to that at some point in like 10 years time and fix that. That can go back to transparent as well. Okay. Right, so next we just need to clean some of the things up. So the I'm trying to remember what the UI looked like. So what was bugs? There was a border around the main container, right? So, oh, but this is the tree cell. 1 second. We need to look at this. So, yeah, the other thing is like this class itself doesn't have a style sheet class, so it does definitely need one. Okay, so I think it was just the tree view though that had that border. So hopefully we can just do the background. I think is fine. We just want to change the border. So border. I don't know how you set a no border, to be honest. Have I done that anywhere in here? Border width. Okay. I think I can just do 0, and I think that sets it for them all. It's really hard to know without having any kind of, like, validation from the IDE or anything. You know, it's not particularly fun. But I think that should work. And then, was anything else weird? I guess whilst we're at it, let's add some padding to the to this. So this actually doesn't even have a style class or anything. So get style sheet, or get style class, add get commit pane root. Okay, and we just want to set that to to have a... well, actually, we don't want it on the root. Never mind. Do we? We want to add padding to the... It was the actions pane, right? At the bottom. This one. So if we do git commit actions pane... And we just want to do fx padding... sure, 10 pixels, and then we also want the buttons at the bottom, but the buttons at the bottom we can actually fix in here. So that is these two here. So that's the footer. So if we do, first of all, I'm gonna do that, add all. And then that just gives me a chance to go through and modify some things. Footer dots. How's your IDE going to work? What kind of IDE will it be? Will it be more code-based? Yes, the plan is for it to be mostly, if not all, code-based. We're not planning to have like... We're not aiming for MC Creator. Let's put it like that. We are aiming for something more akin to IntelliJ. But we're kind of going to meet somewhere in the middle, if you will. We're going to try and make it able to do a lot more than IntelliJ. Kind of more than MC Creator, but not in a way that like it does it for you as well. It's very hard to explain, I suppose. One second, let me just quickly... Right, no, I wanted them to both grow. Commit button always. There we go. That means they'll now both grow. Because if we go like this, for example... I mean, actually... Yeah, I mean, that technically doesn't do it like that. Do we want to do it like this, or do we want to do it so they're both full width? I think actually this is probably a better way to do it, isn't it? What's the spacing on the footer? 4, that's fine. I mean, yeah, most of it's going to be fixed by the padding then. So it's like any code IDE, like, but specifically for Minecraft. Yes, exactly. It will just have a lot of things that, like, other IDs won't have. So... because it's specific to Minecraft, it can have more specific things. For example, the big one I always go on about every single time anyone asks is mix-ins. Well, I actually go on about quite a few things. One second, let me go to the GitHub and I can show you some of the things. Okay, so for example, I'm just going to go one by one what we have on here. And this is not everything, by the way. These are just some of the ones we've kind of labeled as the big things. So there's going to be like in IDE texture and model editors. We're going to have audio visualizers. And it'll play it like you're listening to it in-game as well. We're going to have structure and MBT editors, of course. I say, of course, I guess that's not super obvious, but mix-in debugging is kind of the big one. So we're going to have inline mix-ins. So like if I had a mix-in in this method, it would show me in the IDE the mix-in, like what it would actually inject here. And mix-in debugging as well, just, you know, making mix-ins easier to work with. Project creation. So, I mean, that's an obvious one, and we kind of already have that. I mean, it's not perfect. It's not a perfect system currently, but, you know, I can go in here. I can start project creation. I can enter all the stuff to do that. And then modding aware code inspection. So this is like, for example, if you somewhere mistyped your mod ID, it would tell you that basically your mod ID has been mistyped. And the same would be true for, I don't know, there's other examples. I can't think of any. Maybe if you misnamed an item somewhere. So one of your JSONs you had, I don't know. I can't think of a good example. Okay, let's say somewhere you put an underscore and somewhere you accidentally had a space. It would tell you that it's a mismatch, basically. We're going to have a visual GUI creator, so you will literally just be able to create your GUIs like within the IDE. You won't have to write the code to do that, because that's always a pain in the butt to do. And then the other kind of biggest thing, I suppose, is just an easy way to deal with JSON files, right? So obviously nowadays most people just use data gen, but not everyone does. And basically it will mean that when you go into a JSON file, you're going to have like autocomplete. You're going to have all the suggestions for the different correct fields will come up. You'll be able to copy a vanilla JSON file. So say, for example, you wanted to base a loot table off of coal ore. You could just select the coal ore like presets and it would load that in, and then you could just modify that. That kind of thing. And like for recipes, you would actually have like a visual recipe designer. So it would show the crafting grid. You just put what you want where. I suppose that's kind of one of the big things. Basically, to be honest, this, right? So you just, say, okay, well, actually, you can't in here. You can't like select things in here. I thought you could. You actually can't. But like you know how you can select presets in here, for example, and then it'll show. Okay, that goes there. You can re-roll the loot table. Okay, there. Right, that kind of thing. And that would be for all of them. So I mean, this already has most of them. Obviously, that's not within your IDE. So the idea is that this would be within your IDE. You wouldn't have to go to a different site to do it all. I think recipes you can. It doesn't show the recipe? Huh. I could have sworn it used to show the recipe here. But I guess I was wrong, because it doesn't. Like, I thought it showed the crafting table, but apparently it doesn't. I don't know if that's maybe bugged, or if that's never been the case and I just imagined it. I don't know. But yeah, I mean, that kind of thing would obviously be very cool. Villager trades. Push 26.1. Does this have a visual thing? No, that could have a visual thing. Isn't it because it's shapeless? Oh, it might have been. Is it a shapeless one? I did select a shapeless one, you're right. What if I do, no, even shaped it doesn't show. Funnily enough. Interesting. Good to know, I suppose. You gotta press the blue arrow? Ah. There you go. I knew it existed, but you can't, like, drag them around. I can't say, oh, I want to move the candle to here. Or you can't, like, right-click and say, I want to switch this candle to something. Which I thought you could do. Interesting. Anyways, all of that and other things as well. One of the other things, I mean, this is a very specific example. Oh my god, I cannot speak today. Something that someone in the community actually suggested, and I think it's a great idea, is, see if I can pull it up because it is on the feature board. Codec generators, right? This is very specific, but basically it would mean that it would automatically create a codec for your class. So say, for example, you have a record, which is just an ingredient, a multi-block data, and like some integer, right? It would automatically be able to create the codec for that class. So it would know that there's a codec for ingredient, so it would use ingredient.codec. It knows that maybe multi-block data has a codec, so obviously the way I guess we would do that is actually finding all codecs within this class. We don't know exactly how it's going to work, but something like this is something else we want to do. Int is just a primitive, so obviously that would be in some like map lookup thing, but yeah, this is currently blocked by the semantic syntax tree, as is most things in here. Like the majority of these things are blocked by, like this is blocked by structure viewer, which is blocked by model viewer, which is blocked by SST. Even like live code execution, blocked by a bunch of things, but one of those things is SST. Mix-in debugging, I imagine, yeah, that's blocked by SST. MBT editor, blocked by SST. Project templating, blocked by SST. Everything is currently blocked by that, so I need to get back on that at some point. It's going to take a really long time, but that is something we need to do. Anyways, back to what we were doing, which is the Git system. I was going to do something with the footer, but I actually don't know what it was, so we're just going to run it again. And we'll see where we were at. But yeah, anyways, we have lots of plans. And I mean, if you guys have any ideas for other features you'd like to see in a modding IDE, please let us know. And we can add it to the board of you know, things that we want to add. Because there are going to be things I just haven't thought of. Right? People are going to have ideas, and I probably haven't even thought of them. So let us know if you have any. And that would be great. So, oh, oh, never mind, that's fine. I got an error come up, but it was just friggin' my music player. So that's fine. Will you make it easier to implement libraries? Not entirely sure what you mean, to be honest. Like what do you mean? You mean like adding libraries to your mod? If so, yes. Like we want to make it so you can easily just like once again, I don't know exactly how it's going to work. We haven't planned out everything, but we're going to have something like you'll right click the projects. There'll be like some add library thing. You can select CurseForge, ModRimp, jar file, and then you just select the one you want, and it just adds that from CurseForge, ModRimp, jars, whatever. That's something we plan on doing. If you mean like direct integration with specific libraries, so like having built-in support for like JEI maybe, then probably not. But that's one of those things that the plugin system will support. So one of the big things Railroad is going to have is plugins, right? We do currently have them. If I go, yeah, plugins even. We do have plugins. So we have the Discord integration plugin, and we have GitHub integration. This, I might just remove this plugin. We haven't really decided whether GitHub's going to be integrated directly or whether we're going to have it be a plugin. Originally, the plan was for it to be a plugin, but I don't know. Oh, never mind. Sorry, I completely misread. This is GitHub integration, not Git integration, right? They are two different things. So GitHub, obviously you can use Git without GitHub, right? You could get to Bitbucket, you could get to GitLab, you could get to anything, right? So this is specific to GitHub. So yes, that is going to stay as a plugin. But Maybe something like an extension tab for mods. Like, for example, I want to use Architecture API, and you can add it from there. We are going to have built-in support for... I don't know if we're going to have built-in support for Architecture. Don't know. I personally never used it, so I can't say how possible that would be. But we are going to have built-in support for multi-loader, like just more generally multi-loader. I didn't mean to close that, by the way. I wanted to see what the other UI issues were before I closed it. So like we are going to have some support for just multi-loader in general. But yeah. How about user-defined templates? So it allow users to create like a Fabric mod template, and you create a new project based on that. That is something we do plan on having, yes. In fact, I think it's even in the GitHub. I think. I'm gonna check actually. That is something we've been talking about for a while. I don't know if it's ever something we put in there. It is, yes. So this is actually this issue. We just haven't got a description for it. So yeah, I mean, basically what you said, right? So users will be able to define their own templates. And as part of that, we're also going to have our own scripting language. So like, for example, the actual templates you download will be able to have scripts that do some automatic setup. Or for example, the templates themselves might be configurable. So you might want to say, have this template, but have it with split sources, or have this template, but use Kotlin instead of Java. So, but that's why we're going to have a scripting language that kind of does all of that for us. Which is the only reason this is blocked by SST, by the way. This actually also, one second, this needs to be blocked by indexes. Oh, that is on here, no? Oh, it's just index. This one needs to be blocked by that. So this one, by the way, because we're gonna have like some like central repositories for everything. So we're obviously gonna need to have some kind of like plugin repository where people download the plugins from. We're going to need to have theme repositories and then template repositories. We need to do that at some point. This isn't actually blocked by anything. So if anyone wants to work on this, please let me know. And I'll be happy to assist. But yeah, this is actually a very important one and does need to be done at some point. But we can come back to that anyways. But yeah, we have thought of that. But yeah, obviously any ideas greatly appreciated. Also, just feedback on existing ideas, right? And we might already have ideas for something, but you guys might have ideas of maybe how to improve it, or you might just think it's a terrible idea. In which case, obviously, that's helpful to know, because if people don't like the if people don't like the idea, then obviously there's no point doing it, right? So any suggestions or any improvements or anything really. Yeah, I think that's basically it actually with the styling. Like, it's not great. I think let's try and fix changes. Also, not sure what's up with these arrows. Like, I don't know why they're there and not centered. That's a weird one. Let's quickly open Scenic View again and figure out why that's the case. Okay, so I'm just going to quickly look in here. This one. Yep, that's the one. Tree View. Here we go. So we've got a cell, which will go... Not that one. We'll go like... Can't go that one. This one. Okay, there you go. Sure. So this is the stack pane. Okay. Yeah, I don't know why that's not actually centered vertically. I mean, I can just double click these and it also... I don't know why it shakes around like that, though. I think it's an issue with the icon, actually. If you look at that. For, like, a frame, it does actually switch to, like, the box icon. Like, you know when the emojis, like, don't load or whatever? It switches to that for, like, a frame. You can just, like... If you look very closely... and very hard, you can see it. I think that's what's happening. I don't know why it would be doing that, though. So if we look at, like, where would that be? That would be in here. There's the icon container there. Yeah, probably because of this. Because it clears the children and then it re-adds them. Because obviously you don't want the old children to stay around. So I suspect that's why. The other thing, I imagine, icon probably is creating a new icon every single time. I'm just wondering what it might be worth doing. Is just saying, like don't clear them if the icon is the same? Maybe? Yeah, that's probably the way to go. So if I do something like, I mean, it's going to be very hard to do this, I think. But if icon container is empty, get children is not empty, then we want to get the first child, right? So node old icon will be that. If old icon is not the new one, then it clears them. Okay. No, I don't know necessarily we want to use double equals. Probably want to put in an object or equals. Like that. Okay. Icon container dot get children dot clear, and then it wants to add wait, no, if they're not equal, then it needs to clear them and then add it. Else it needs to do that, and then if they are equal, then it just doesn't do anything, right? So that should, if we can hopefully hot swap that, which it did hot swap. So if I now do this, it is still jumping around, isn't it? And what we can do here is we can actually do get children dot clear, which will just clear that old icon just in case. I'm also going to close scenic view because it's kind of getting on my nerves. Okay, and then clear the console because that's annoying me. Okay. Yeah, I mean, that doesn't seem to have necessarily fixed anything. But I mean, that should help a little bit, right? In theory. Yeah, I think so. The other thing, I mean, like, does this do that? No. I mean, the other thing we said we wanted to do, right, is we wanted to just have these be single lines, didn't we? So... What does this do? Yeah, so IntelliJ doesn't even show, like, the full file path for these, which I think is actually probably very reasonable. So, like, we just want to kind of get rid of the V box, I think. Replace it with a H box, right? Put in spacing of maybe, like, 2. And then... for the file item, basically just get rid of the subtitle. Like, it just doesn't need to exist. So subtitle will just be return that. Okay. Nice. Okay. The other thing is this looks weird because it's not centered. Right? Like, because the other text is technically still there. So I think what we probably want to do with that is we want to say... something like if... no, if... Ah, here we go. Okay, first of all, this needs to be renamed to subtitle. Originally, I called it detail. Don't really know why. Yes, I mean, here, we can just do... basically, we just want to remove it, right? So we want to do... text container, is it called? Text... what did I call it? Oh, we don't have a field for it. But it is called text container. I'm not going insane. Right, we do need that back then. I mean, there's a V-box there, but we do want a H-box. Otherwise, that's not going to work. So then we can just do... get rid of that. Set that to 2. Okay. And then we just want to do text container dot remove subtitle text, and then if it contains it, if it does not contain it, then add it. Is basically what we want. That should be fine. I can't hot swap that, unfortunately. But okay, that's fine. And then... yeah, that should kind of fix most of the issues. The other thing I want to do before I forget is expand all. I need to make this actually expand the children of the root. So I need to do check root dot get children dot for child, then basically expand the children. Yeah. I think that should work. So for now, obviously, the only child is the changes, but later we're going to have other things in there as well. For example, we're going to have like unstage changes as well. Okay. so let's open it back up. Oh, that's blinding. Okay, so, oh yeah, we're crashing again. I actually might need to go on to dev, fix this, merge it back in, and then continue, because this is gonna get on my nerves. It's actually kind of driving me crazy. But okay, there you go. That's better. That's more what I wanted. Okay, lovely. That's good. Changes doesn't have an icon, and I don't think it does in IntelliJ either. Yeah, it doesn't. We can apply the same logic there, though. So, if we go back into here... So, if it's not empty... Okay, if it is empty... Yeah, and then in the else statement, we actually just want to remove this, right? So, if the icon is empty, then we want to do... container... remove icon container. Else, we want to do... if it does not contain it... then we add first icon container. I think I can hot swap that. I mean, yes. And also that's now working, which is good. But that hasn't changed anything because like we're not recreating this specific cell, right? So that doesn't really... Oh, also, I just realized this one has a border. How did I never notice this before? Interesting. Okay. I need to come back and fix that at some point then, but that's fine for now. And if I do that, that does that. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, that's pretty much everything I was looking for. And those work, that's fine. Nice, if I do that. Yeah. Okay, lovely. That is pretty much everything I was looking for. Now, instead, I did want to make this a split pane so that I have a split between here and here. That way I can, like, resize this. I don't actually know if I do want to do that, though. What do you guys think? Should we do that? I mean, it doesn't really matter, right? Like, would you ever need to resize this? I actually don't know. Not sure. I think it's fine, actually. Also, I am going to rename this to not be one changes, and I'm going to make it one files, as IntelliJ does, because that does just make more sense. It's not one change, it's one file. One file's changed, even. But I think just files, yeah, as IntelliJ does. Because it isn't just one change, right? There's multiple changes within said file. And the next thing then is just colors, right? So we want to have these have the correct colors. Now, yeah, so this doesn't color like folders or anything, but that's fine. Yeah, okay, so what we can do is in the file item, we can get style class. Okay, here we go. So, okay, let's do var builder is equal to a new string. Actually, we want a string joiner. So we're going to have a new joiner, and it's just going to join with spaces. And we're just going to add this one by default. Okay, and then from the change, we can get the specific character, which I think is I don't know. I think it's index status. No, I think it's work tree status. And then I'm also going to add well, actually, if it's a conflict, we want to do something else later on, but that's fine for now. So what we can do, let's come into here, and we can do the specific characters, right? Now, what we do probably want to do is just do character dot to lowercase. So that's a lowercase character rather than any character. So I know we have M for modified. So we want fx text fill, I think, which is going to be color red or something. I don't know how we did colors. If we go default dark. Okay, so I don't know. I don't remember how we did these. Things I can't friggin' see what colors they are because friggin' IntelliJ doesn't have marketplace CSS. Yeah, we can't have like, there's no CSS plugins. The only CSS plugins are Ultimate, which is like, bro. Yeah. Color. Maybe something comes up. No, nothing's gonna come up there. So annoying, man. Because we have the different colors. But I can't see what they are. You know what I can do, actually? You know what I can do? 1 second. I can open VS Code. Text file. I think if I do this. Voila, guys. Now we can see what colors they are. Lovely. So I think we probably want to consider like using the chart colors, I guess. Or I mean, I don't know. I guess we kind of want like you know, for now I think it's fine because at some point we need to redo the whole system for like themes, because like we don't really have a way, like a lot of the colors that are used within Railroad aren't themed, or at least they're not in the theme files. And then also a lot of the themes affect things like padding and stuff, which they shouldn't. So we need to go through those at some point and change them around anyways. So I'm just going to use this for modified. U is... What's U? I don't know. I'm going to have a quick Google grit status. File change types. Okay. So okay, I found them all. So after modified, we have T, which means the file type was changed. I don't know what color this is. I'm gonna have a quick look. Hex color. I could probably figure it out, but I can't really be bothered. It is greenish. No, I want like a purple, I think, here. Yeah, I'm gonna go purple. Obviously they're all done by styles, so it doesn't really matter. Added would be green. And let's see what color it's put in here, because I don't think that's green. It is green. Okay, that's fine. Then we have D, which is delete. So I'm guessing that has... Yeah, that's red. That's fine. Then we have R, which is renamed. Which it's done what? Orange. Yeah, sure. I mean, that's fine. And then C, which is copied. What's it done for copied? It's done purple. Is that the same as this one? As T? It's not, is it? Are they actually different colors? They are actually different colors. Okay. And then there is also U, which is updated but unmerged. Which what's that done? So that's red something. Yellow. Okay, that's fine. Yellow's fine. That makes sense. And then we also have untracked and ignored as well. Which I don't know if that's gonna work. Like, I don't know if we can have an exclamation mark there. Maybe. And then we also want question mark, which is untracked. That's fine. Hello, Alex. Welcome to the stream. Okay, I imagine these two aren't going to work, so we might have to go ahead and comment these out, which I can't even do Control / without Ultimate. That is crazy. Thank you, JetBrains, for being a money hog of a company, for not letting me comment out things in CSS files. That's insane. Railroad will have this by default, guys. Actually, will it? I don't know it will, because we're not planning on supporting CSS. So, I mean, it would be trivial to add, I suppose, but probably it won't, actually, if we're being realistic. But okay, let's see if this works. I imagine these two at the bottom might actually just break it. So, I don't know. Actually, probably want to do like that, right? Okay. Just give it a second. Okay, here we go. And it is completely unchanged. Interesting. Wait for it to stop freezing. Okay, so... yeah, so the only CSS pass error is with the theme.css, which is fine. Find usages. Where are you called? It's not called. Well, that would help, wouldn't it? That would actually very much help. Let's fix that. So we need to go into the tree item or tree cell, and then we want to change the text, which is going to be this. So we probably just want to do text container. What I'm going to do is I'm going to do get style class dot clear, and then I'm going to do add that, and then I'm also going to add item.styleclass.split, like that. Now we actually only care about doing that. Well, no, we kind of always want to do that, I suppose. So that's fine. Hopefully we can hot swap that. I think so, but I could be wrong. Maybe not. Let's run it again and see. It might have just like worked out or whatever, right? It's also possible that these are not propagating downwards to the actual text elements. Possibly. So that's worth considering if this doesn't fix it. But I'm hoping it should fix it. Okay. So if we go commits and we've frozen again, just give it a minute. Okay, and if we expand all, it hasn't done anything. Do we have any errors? No. Yeah, I suspect what's happening here is that these just don't do anything. Because they're not targeting the actual text elements themselves. So, I mean, we could just do dot text, right? I mean, it's not ideal. But I mean, it should work at least. Yeah, we figured we have to rerun that, don't we? Actually, I'm not going to run in debug mode because I think it'll be faster if I do it normally. Yeah, I mean, look how much faster that is. Hopefully, it might not even freeze, possibly, if we run it like this, but we'll see. Because it could just be debug mode doing debug mode things. You never know. That actually hasn't fixed it either. And that has still frozen, by the way. Interesting. In that case, bring that back. Let's go scenic view again. If it's going to open, please. Okay. So, this is in here. So, I'm just going to check that the tree cell, first of all, actually has... Or... Okay, so not that one, of course. But, like, not that one either, to be honest. That one should. So, I'm going to go into here, and I'm just going to look. This is the H box. And then inside of that, we have the next H box. So, this has... actually nothing useful for some reason. So if we look at the style classes here, you can see it has the usual stuff, right? And then it has git commit change icon container. Oh wait, no, it might be this one. Ah, here you go, it's this one. So this has git file item m. Git file item m. Let's check our CSS and just see. Git file item m. Let's just try target text like this. It might not have a dot before it, now that I think about it. So let's try that. I think that might actually fix it. Okay, so we open again. Get past all the freezes. We need some friggin' splash screens. That hasn't changed anything either. So I'm going to reopen everything. I'm going to go scenic view. Okay. And I'm going to just go through and check again. I'm going to find like maybe this one. Yeah, sure, that one will do. So I found the H box, git file item M, then text. Yeah, that hasn't changed anything. I mean, I guess what I can try is just this. And just see if that fixes it, maybe? Okay. So we're trying to open again. Maybe that fixes it? It should do, right? You would think so. I think I actually need to rerun it again because I think I fucked up a little bit. Okay, so I'm going to run it again. And see, hopefully... No, so I've expanded all and that still hasn't worked, which is interesting. Let me run scenic view again. Okay, and I'm gonna go in and have a look once more. So I'm gonna have a look at this one. Hbox, git file item M. So it says the. Just trying to look at the. Interesting. So that's actually got it as just fill. Like I can just change that in the UI. Interesting. Get file item M. Get file item M. That's correct. So that's not the problem here. And then git commit change title text I know is going to be correct as well. So maybe the issue is not, it's not FX text fill. I was pretty sure it is, but now I'm wondering, is it just FX fill? It possibly might be. How am I going to find... Do I know anywhere where I actually change the text color? Because that's not often we do that, to be fair. No, here I use FX text fill. But I guess whether or not it works is a different question, right? Yeah, I do use FX text fill. What if I just do like this, though? But here I use FX fill. So now I'm not convinced. I use both throughout in different places. Let's just try FX fill then and see what happens. Maybe like when it's text versus a label, it has to be fill rather than text fill? Possibly? I am shooting bullets in the dark here, but we're going to try it. Okay, so we open again. Okay, that's fine. Don't care about that. Okay, that's fixed it. Actually, that has actually fixed it. We are going to want to change that color for modified, though, because that's not a great color. It's very toned down. Next color. That's done 5cc5. That might be fine, actually. Yeah, that's quite toned down too, though. I probably want to tone them all up then. This is what it looks like, by the way, guys. Currently. Actually, I guess that's okay. But I think I'd still rather change it to be something more reasonable. And I'm going to do this for all of them. Basically just tone them all up. Okay. Next is D. Okay, this one's actually already quite high up, but I'll make it a little bit brighter. Then we have R, so this is renaming. This one, once again, is already very high up. There we go. Okay, then we have C, which is copied or something, right? Is that right? I think so. So I'm going to do that. And then we have U, which is untracks. This one's already very bright, so that one was fine. And then we have this one. So that one can go. This is like a light gray. Like maybe. Trying to find, because obviously I don't want it to be too dark because it will clash with the UI, but I think if we go something like that, that will be fine. Okay, let's do that, and then let's open Railroad in Railroad, because Railroad obviously has a lot more changes right now and a lot more different changes. So hopefully we can see more of a difference, right? So here's Railroad. If we go commit, expand all. Okay, so these two haven't worked, interestingly enough. Don't know why. So that's this one and this one. But these should just be new. So I'm not sure why those ones aren't working. Also, I can't lie, I do kind of prefer the original blue. It is actually just kind of better. So I'm just going to change it to be that one. There we go. Obviously that's not going to be able to be changed. I can do a build, but it's not going to do anything. Yeah, it's just going to give the same error as it did before. So obviously that's not going to... Yeah, not going to do anything. Yeah, these aren't all modified though, are they? A lot of these are added. Like if we go in here, most of these even are added. What if we go into the changes folder? Yeah, these are all blue, but they shouldn't all be blue. Oh, got another error from my music player. It's fine. I think I can get rid of these. Let's just try to get rid of these and see what happens. I don't think I should need them. Like that. We could also possibly actually just map the... We could map the character to something more meaningful. Let's do that, actually. So let's do needs another bracket. So A added, modified. Let's do them in order that they're on the website, actually. Which I now cannot find. Okay, I found it. So, okay, first of all, we want to do case that. So that'll be unchanged. Then it is modified. So unchanged, modified. Okay, then we have case T, which is type changed. Then we have A, which is added. Then we have D, which is deleted. Hello Wide, welcome to the stream. Then we have R, and then we have C, and then we have U, Then we have untracked and ignored and unknown. And then we can go into this and we can fix them all. So let's put this here. Okay, and let's go here. So we will have each of these. So first of all, we have modified. Then we have type change. Duh. Then we have added. Then we have deleted. Then we have renamed. Then we have copied. Then we have unmerged. Then we have ignored, or we'll do them the way around they are in here. So we'll have untracked and ignored. Okay, I don't know if that's actually going to change anything or not, but we can at least see. We can try and see, right? Okay, so we're going to open Railroad again. Okay, so commit, expand all. Now there is nothing of anything. Okay, interesting. Right. I'm gonna breakpoint that. I'm gonna do that and then do that. Does that hit? No. Okay. Oh, we're not in debug mode. Okay. I think what's happening is the work tree status isn't what I want. Possibly. I guess we can create some more booleans, right? So boolean is modified, is added, is deleted, is renamed, is copied, is unchanged, is untracked. Have I already done untracked, actually? I have. Okay. Okay, so then I can do string suffix. Okay, and then if change is modified, then suffix plus equals modified. Or suffix equals modified, because yeah, okay. I guess we want to do that. My day has been alright, wide. I don't really know. I don't know what I've done today, to be honest. I couldn't tell you. I have done things today. I actually just don't know what. I don't know what is conflict. So conflict is unmerged. Okay, interesting. So it is conflict, then it's unmerged. Then get file item plus suffix. Yeah, I don't know what I've done today. I've done things. I genuinely don't know what I've done. So, yeah, I don't know. I've been working on this a little bit, I don't know what else I've been doing. I genuinely cannot think. So that's always nice, I suppose. Anyways, let's open Railroad again. Here we go. Come on, commit, expand. Nothing. Let's run it in debug mode then. And let's figure out why there's nothing. Because there obviously should be something. So the fact that that's not working is a little bit concerning. What we actually do want real quick is say if suffix is not empty, then it needs to add that. Otherwise, obviously that's not ideal. So let me hot swap that. Not that it's going to make a difference, of course, but oh, it could be that I'm no longer targeting the text elements. Actually, we'll try that in a second if that doesn't fix it. Okay, so if we look at this, and then we can look at the change, and then we can see that it's A and M. So that's then going to come up as added, because that's basically the first one, right? So then we skip over. That's added, modified. That'll be added, modified. Yeah, and there's obviously others as well. Okay. But that's fine then. Okay. So that means, yeah, in fact, the issue is probably that I'm no longer targeting those text components, which I do need to do. So those text components were what class? Title text. There we go. Okay. Nice. Boom and boom. Okay. So let's run it back. And maybe it works this time. Okay, so let's open Railroad again. Commit, expand. Nice. Kind of. Not really. Well, no, I think, is that right? No, it's not right. Why are these blue? I think we need to have some form of precedence, right? Like, these should not be blue. Those should be... Those shouldn't be blue. And in theory, we do actually have precedence, right? Because if we go into here, it is an if-else. So, yeah, I guess modified comes first, hence that's not necessarily working. I think we basically want modified last, to be honest. Because that's kind of the least important, because that's going to show up on, like, most of them, right? Is this still Java FX? Yes, it is. There you go. That's basically fixed that. Nice. Nice, guys. That's all done. Also, this scroll bar is so janky. I don't know why it's not using our normal themed scroll bars. But whatever. It's fine. Doesn't really matter. Okay. Well, I think, guys, it is time to try and actually commit something. Which is going to be interesting. Yeah. Also, I don't know what's going on down here. Like, why is there, first of all, why is there no cursor on this one? And then why is there a cursor on this one, but no, like, why is it not this symbol that the cursor is? Oh, carrot, I mean. So, like, there's no carrot on this one, but there is on this one. But there's the right cursor on this one, but not on this one. Like, what is going on there? Isn't this just a normal text field? What am I looking for? I'm looking for action pane. Here we go. And the text field, it's just a normal text field. Is this an issue with all text fields in Railroad? I don't think it is. If I go here... Okay, why is this not coming up on here? Don't tell me this has broken itself. Okay, that works, but that... Okay, that's a problem. It is an issue with all text fields. Interesting. Oh, bless me. Okay. That's an issue with all text fields, then. Okay. Don't know how I've only just come across this one. Let's... I don't really know why. It's just a text field control. Like, there isn't anything, special. I mean, I can just call... I can just call set cursor, right? But I don't know if that, like... Set cursor, like, what does this do? Like, does that just set the cursor when I call the method? Or does that, like, set the cursor for when I mouse over it? Defines the mouse cursor for this node in the sub mode. Yeah, that's fine. So that should be it, to be honest. So if I hot swap that, actually, I can't hot swap that, can I? No, I can't. Let's just rerun it then. Let's run it back. And I think we're going to try and commit it. The only problem is, if we commit it and it doesn't work, then we've just committed something that doesn't work. Although I guess if it doesn't work, then it won't commit it, so it doesn't really matter. But I think we want to try and commit and push. Or do we? No, I think let's just try commit first, and we can sort pushing later. I think we want to just be able to commit first, because that's more important. You can revert the commit. Yes, that's correct. But if I pushed it, then I couldn't. So we will not push it. We will just commit and see if it works. Let's just wait for Gradle to do its thing, though. Okay. I need to write myself like a reminder to fix this Gradle thing. Let me do that real quick. 1 second, guys. Because otherwise I'm going to completely forget by tomorrow. Check that I'm not actually doing anything tomorrow before I set a reminder for tomorrow. That's then, and then that is When's that? Okay, yeah, I don't think I have anything tomorrow, so I can set a reminder for tomorrow to do this. Set it for, I'm just trying to think when would be best for me to do this. 2 o'clock. I'm gonna say fix, oh my god, fix railroad, Gradle, tab, save. Oh, know what that means. Nice. Okay, now I can fix that tomorrow. We're not gonna fix that right now because that'll take a while. So hopefully we can just write a commit message. So let's say, oh, I need to select the changes first. So I'm curious what happens if I don't. Well, I don't have any like error messages set up actually, so it will probably just bug out and die. So we'll just pretend that that's not a problem. We'll come back to it. So let's put a message in. Let's put, what have I done? I have, you know what? Let's get Copilot to generate this. Wait, can we? No, we can't because there's too many changes. So, okay, fine. Let's look in here and actually look at some of the... Oh my god, why do you keep doing this? Oh my god, why is it... Bro, there's like 1 pixel. Okay, what have I changed? I have... I mean, I've kind of changed a lot. Well... Yeah, I actually kind of haven't. In terms of, like, what we had before... Okay, so really what I've done is I have implemented... How is this one brand new? But this one isn't brand new. How on earth has that happened? Did I commit a file with compile errors? How has that happened? Yeah, I did. I must have done because I committed the name there, but I haven't. This is a new file, so well, no one's gonna go back to previous commits and try to compile from that, are they? So it doesn't really matter. Okay, in that case, I have fully. I don't want to say fully implement because I don't freaking know if it works. Okay. You know what? Fuck it. Fully implement. No, I don't want to say that because it's not really fully implemented. I'm so bad at commit names. What does Copilot think I've done? Because sometimes it's correct, but other times it's completely wrong. Usually when you have a lot of changes, it's completely wrong. So... it's actually correct. It actually has done really well. Okay. We'll do that then. We'll just copy what it says. That has not gone multi-line. This needs to have text wrapping on that. So let's go here, description area, this dot commit, description area dot wrap text true. We're not going to be able to test that right now, but unless we want to restart, but I don't want to do that. I just want to test if this works. So commit. I don't think anything happened. Absolutely nothing happened. Okay. Interesting. I thought something would happen. Why? Let's find out. So let's go in here. Let's select all the changes. Let's paste these back in. Paste. Paste. Commit. Okay, so we get the message. We get the description, amend, sign off, whatever. Those are both false. We create the commit. So what is the changes, though, in the commit? Selected changes, 0. That would be why, wouldn't it, then? Okay, so that just means it's not doing anything because it doesn't think there's any changes. Okay, let's hit that breakpoint again. And then try and figure out, like, why it doesn't think there's any changes. So commit. And then let's step into... What? Why are we in here? No, we want to be in... What? I'm sorry, what? Why are we here? IntelliJ? Hello? Are we not up to date? I think we should be. Try this again. Step in. Okay, now it's working. We obviously just weren't up to date for whatever reason. So we get the root. The root is a tree item. If you to get root. What are the root's children? The root does have children, which are the changes, right? Yeah, because we don't want to get the root. We want to get the changes root. For now, I guess we can get the first child, but we're gonna want a better way to do that. Don't just get the first child. Have a better way to access the changes root. But for now, that should work. Okay. So let's try again. Okay. Commit. Okay, let's just hop in here again and just see. So root is now a tree item of changes. So that's still going to fail then, isn't it? And that has the children, but those are also tree items. Why are they not the correct classes? Check roots. Check root dot get selected values. Why are they not the right classes? Get root. Root is instant. See, this obviously works. So, for whatever reason, like, why is this not working? What if I look at this, and then look at the tree view, and then look at the root? Yeah, so the root inside of the tree view is a checkbox. Oh wait, no, that's a checkbox tree view. What's the value? An empty value. I mean, that's... Oh, never mind. It is correct. Okay, it's just being weird then, is it? Is IntelliJ being weird, I guess? What does it say? Oh, it does say it's a commit tree. Okay, I was reading the wrong thing. I was reading the toString. This is the toString, right? This is what it actually is. I'm an idiot. Don't worry, ignore me, guys. I mean, that should work then, right? Selected items 1. No. No. Just like no. Wait, what is the one it's found? Changes. What? What do you mean? You know, let's just rerun it. Let's just rerun it. And then we can also at least check the text wrapping as well. And the cursor. Commit is equal to a new commit content. Get selected changes. So do check root dot get selected values. Which this should be recursive. So this should recursively go through all of the children. Because this returns. This shouldn't return. That's why. Let's try again then. So I have hopefully hot swapped that. Okay, a lot of these have now become grey. Don't know how that's happened. Maybe I have actually broken something. Shouldn't have. Okay, let's give it a second. Okay, I think it's fine though. I don't know why it's complaining. So yeah, that hasn't actually fixed anything there because I still don't have the right cursor. So I don't know what that's about. We'll have to come back and figure that out at some later date. But text wrappings work, so that's good. Okay, let's commit. So now, hopefully, still only one item. Really? Really, really, really? Okay, in that case, let's figure out what get selected values does. Okay, so collect selected. Source code does not match. Okay, that means it didn't actually hot swap then, did it? Okay. Yeah, so then that just doesn't do anything. Right. Let's try again. Commit. Step into. Step into. Do we get the value? Okay. Then it adds the value. Fine. Then it goes children, blah, blah, blah. And then collect selected. Okay. This should work. Let's go step out. Step out. Step over. So selected items, we now have 37 items. Okay. And it should filter those out to be the ones we want. So if we come back to here, now the commit should hopefully only have files. Correct. It does. That's good. Yeah, some of these are question marks, which is actually what get is returning, not even an issue of my code. So that's interesting. I don't know why it's doing that. But okay. Should we see if it commits, I guess? Okay, resume. Don't think it did anything. Get client.commit changes. Okay, I guess let's breakpoint that then. Yeah, I don't know why get is not returning what it should be. Has it actually? I think it's unstaged all the changes, hasn't it? Or something. Yeah, it has. It's unversioned them all. I wanna... How do I do this? I think I can just drag them in, right? Yeah, there you go. I don't know why it did that. I'm wondering if maybe that was something I did then. Because it shouldn't have done that. But okay, where's Railroad gone? Did I accidentally close it? I did. Okay. Did I intend to close it? I actually did, didn't I? Yeah, okay. How bad is the get going? It's going well. Kind of. I think it's going well. Okay, so let's go Railroad. Okay. Commit. Okay, let's... Okay, now they're back to being green. Good. As they should be. Just wait a minute for Gradle. Are we done? Are we done, Gradle? Hey, we're done. Okay, good. So let's select them all. Let's put in our commit message. Put in our description. And commit. Okay, so let's skip that one. We don't care. Okay, so commit changes. So let's go into there. So let's see what everything is. So we have our Git repository. We have our commit with our 30 changes. Okay. And then we are not pushing, so that's fine. So it should create our command. Now let's check that that has actually created the command correctly. So selected change. That's the commit, not the command. Arguments. Okay, so I actually don't know if this is correct, by the way. I've just done -- and then added them all, but I don't know if I'm meant to do it like that or not. I think that is how you're meant to do it, right? I think so. So then that gets the result. So that runs the command. Okay, so let's step into this then and figure out what happens during running. Okay, so build the command. Okay. Boom. Yep. Start the process. Read the outputs. Okay, so the process is finished. Okay, so what exit code do we have? Exit code 0, so it should have worked then. What does std out say? Std out chunks. Yeah, so 30 files changed, 155 insertions, 148 deletions. Now, std error also has 16. LF will be replaced by CRLF, but that's fine. Okay. Okay. So duration. It shuts down the IO pool. So it hasn't timed out. It hasn't cancelled. And then a refresh status. It should have worked, I think. It has. Oh my god, it's worked, guys. It has actually committed it all. And does it have the? It has the title. It has the commit message. There you go. Next, I guess we need to test pushing. Yeah. Pushing becomes a little bit more complicated because that's the point where we have to have like a commits UI, right? So like IntelliJ has where is it? Does anyone know where the the get UI is? How do you find the get UI? View? Tool windows? Is it just get? I think it's just get, isn't it? Yeah, so I actually don't know how do you push? Get log indexing, refresh, cherry pick. I mean, I imagine I can like select these and push, or I can push all up to here. It's not a very intuitive way of pushing, though, is it? And I know you can do it from here, right? So I can do get and then push, which I guess is what you're meant to do. I don't think that's really a good way to do it, though. Okay, and these will just show the changes UI like that. Interesting. Interesting. Okay. Okay, so yeah, pushing then, we're going to want to design basically a UI like this, right? Fetch. Interesting. Okay. And this also shows the console here as well, of course. Which I think is just like monitoring the... Oh, no. So that's when I moved them from unversioned changes into the changes. That's what this has done. Yeah, so that's done git c add. I don't really know what this like -c is. I don't know like what that does, to be honest. Like credential helper? I don't know. Log show signature. Don't know. It's interesting though. Anyways, honestly, I think that's probably going to be it for this stream. I am actually going to go ahead and push these changes with normal git so that I can get them like off my PC, so I know that they are safe. And yeah, next time obviously we're going to work on the actual proper git UI, right? Use git kraken, it's better. I think it's too unnecessarily confusing, git kraken. It's just unnecessarily complicated. GitHub desktop is fine. Like I don't need all of the shit that that git kraken has. I just need to be able to commit, I need to be able to switch branches, I need to be able to merge, I need to be able to fetch and push. Like that's it. So git kraken is unnecessarily complicated. But anyways, guys, I am going to go ahead and end the stream here because we're not going to get this git UI done within the next 30 minutes. That's going to take a very long time. So I'm probably going to work on that kind of throughout the week. And try and get... I need to get like a mock-up UI done first anyway, so I know roughly what it's going to look like. There may be streams during the week. I don't know. I said last week there might have been and there were not. So I'm not going to promise anything. But there might be, so look out for those. If not, I will do usual stream on Saturday, so I'm going to do... I don't know if I think I'm actually going to do Railroad on Saturday, Industria on Sunday. But I'm not sure. I'm thinking of switching them around, but we'll see. So yeah, I will see you all whenever. I don't know when I next stream. Good. Bye.